At the beginning of the story, we see a helicopter landing in the middle of the forest, from which the professor emerges with his two companions. He instructs the pilot to wait for some time, after which the professor and his two companions head to the riverbank. They reach a location with a waterfall, where the professor is searching for a special kind of egg. He soon finds the eggs, which are very large in appearance, and takes one with him. Suddenly, a terrifying creature emerges from beneath the water. It turns out to be the old Conda, hiding in front of the professor. The creature kills both of the professor's companions. The professor, clutching the egg, starts running back toward the helicopter. This dangerous creature is actually a hybrid of an anaconda and a piranha, making it extremely lethal. When the pilot sees the Anaconda, he immediately attempts to take off, but the Anaconda grabs hold of the helicopter, drags it to the ground and causes it to crash. The pilot dies in the crash, and the professor, witnessing all of this, is paralyzed with fear. Elsewhere in the forest, a film shot is taking place. The writer Rose is present with her team, which includes a stuntman named Jack. Rose likes Jack, and during the shot they become friends. After the shot, an actor approaches Rose to ask about the light meter. Rose informs her that the light meter is near the riverbank by the waterfall. The actor quickly heads to the riverbank to retrieve the light meter and finds it there. However, she soon encounters the Anaconda. Terrified, she runs into the forest to save her life, but the Anaconda chases her, catches up and kills her. Meanwhile, we see Rose and Jack at a hotel, where Rose shows Jack a picture of the Anaconda. She explains that she has been researching it. When Jack sees the picture, he dismisses it, saying that such a creature only exists during the dinosaur era and does not exist now. Rose tells Jack that some people have reported sightings of the Anaconda in the forest and that she believes it still exists, though Jack remains skeptical. Back near the waterfall, another girl arrives to bath but is soon attacked and killed by the Anaconda. Meanwhile, the professor, trying to save his own life, ventures deeper into the forest. Eventually, he stumbles upon an old abandoned factory. But suddenly, a girl armed with a gun appears, captures him, and takes him to her boyfriend Pike, who is a gangster. The professor warns Pike that staying here is extremely dangerous and urges him to leave immediately. He explains that a very dangerous creature is roaming in the area and could pose a threat to him and his companions. However, Pike refuses to leave and imprison the professor. When Pike's girlfriend inspects the professor's bag, she finds a Anaconda egg, though she has no idea what it is. Elsewhere in the forest, a doctor and his assistant are searching for a rare flower. This flower has medicinal properties and can be used to create a fast-acting cure. They eventually find the flower, but strange sounds from the forest soon unsettle them. The sounds come from none other than the Anaconda. Before they can escape, the Anaconda surrounds and attacks them, killing both. The filming resumes in the forest, but the lead actress struggles with her performance. The director advises her to rehearse, so she heads to the river to practice her lines. While she is rehearsing, a Anaconda suddenly appears in front of her. Terrified, she runs into the forest to escape. In the middle of the forest, she encounters another Anaconda, revealing that there are two of these creatures. Both Anaconda attack and kill her. Back at the filming location, Jack meets the special effects technician who is responsible for creating explosions for the movie. The technician shows Jack some of his equipment, including a device that detonates when thrown to the ground. The director receives a call from the financier, who informs him that no additional funds will be provided for the film. This means the production must stop. The director reluctantly announces to the crew that the shot is cancelled and tells everyone to leave. As the crew makes their way back to the hotel, they come across a black car parked on the road. Suspicious, they stop and soon gangster Pike's men appear. The gangsters are there to capture the crew. To intimidate them, Pike's men shot the director in the leg. During the commotion, the special effects technician throws an explosive on the ground, creating a blast. Taking advantage of the chaos, Jack and the stunt coordinator escape into the jungle. two of Pike's men pursue them. Jack and the stunt coordinator decide to split up, running in different directions to confuse their pursuers. The plan works. One gangster chases the stunt coordinator, who knocks the gangster unconscious with a stick. Meanwhile, Jack keeps running and eventually jumps into the river where the Anaconda resides. The gangster chasing Jack fires repeatedly into the water. However, the Anaconda emerges and attacks the gangster. Hearing the Anaconda's roar, Jack realizes there is a deadly creature nearby. Elsewhere, Pike's gang finds a camera on the riverbank that belonged to the professor's team. When they review the recorded footage, they see the Anaconda, which terrifies them. They now believe the professor was telling the truth. There really is a Anaconda in the forest, capable of killing them at any moment. And now Pike's girlfriend suggests they return the Anaconda egg they have taken, but Pike refuses. He insists they can sell the egg for a huge profit, so he keeps it. Jack eventually makes his way to his car, returning to the spot where his friends were captured by Pike's gang. However, his friends are no longer there. The stunt coordinator also arrives and together they attempt to start the car. Unfortunately, the car doesn't start because Pike's men have removed the battery. Undeterred, Jack and the stunt coordinator retrieve explosives from the car and head toward the location where Pike's gang is holding their three friends, Rose, the director, and another crew member. At the factory, Pike puts mask on his captives and records a video demanding $3 million from the government. He threatens to kill the hostages if his demands are not met. Meanwhile, Jack and the stunt coordinator scout the factory using binoculars and spot their friends. They sneak into the factory with Jack taking out several gangsters using his gun, while the stunt coordinator plants explosives around the building. Jack eventually reaches the room where his friends are being held. Rose is overjoyed to see him. They begin to make their way toward the car, but the director struggles to walk due to his injured leg. Realizing he will slow them down, the director tells Jack to lead the others to the car while he stays behind to hold off the gangsters by firing at them. Jack agrees and they carry out the plan. They run to their car and Pike and his companions start shooting at them. Hearing the sound of gunfire, Anaconda arrives. Seeing the creature, the gangster runs away with one of his men, but Pike's girlfriend stays behind. She fires continuously at the Anaconda, but the bullets have no effect. The Anaconda attacks and kills her. Meanwhile, the explosives planted earlier by the stuntman detonate, causing a blast. However, the gangster shoots the stuntman, killing him. Jack manages to escape with his friends, but the Anaconda destroys their car and begins chasing them. At the same time, Pike pursues them. The Anaconda suddenly appears in front of Jack's car. Jack and his friends are confused as to why the Anaconda is chasing them. Pike arrives and fires a rocket launcher at the Jack's car but misses. The rocket instead hits the Anaconda, injuring it. At this moment, a second Anaconda appears and attacks the injured one, ultimately killing it. Jack and his friends drive away, but their car breaks down along the way. Jack tries to fix it but fails. The professor, who has been traveling with them, suggests that there is a boat nearby they can use to escape. The group sets off toward the boat. Elsewhere, the director, limping with the help of a log, struggles through the forest. He encounters a Anaconda which kills him. Meanwhile, Jack and his companions reach the boat. As they get on board, they discover the Anaconda egg in the professor's bag. Realizing this is why the Anaconda has been chasing them, Jack suggests they must destroy the egg to stop the attacks. He proposes using the egg as bait to kill the Anaconda. The group returns to their car to retrieve the remaining explosives. Pike arrives and shoots Jack in the shoulder, declaring that he no longer cares about money. He wants to kill the Anaconda to avenge his girlfriend and friends. Just then, the Anaconda attacks and kills Pike and his remaining men. Taking advantage of the chaos, the professor grabs the egg and heads back to the boat, determined to escape and continue his research on the egg. The Anaconda kills another of Jack's companions, leaving Jack and Rose. Jack urges Rose to head to the boat, assuring her that he can handle the Anaconda. Trusting him, Rose goes to the boat. The professor insists they should leave, claiming Jack won't survive, and convinces Rose to depart with him. Jack gathers all the explosives from the car and drives into the forest using Pike's vehicle, determined to kill the Anaconda. Meanwhile, the Anaconda, now underwater, starts chasing the professor because he has the egg. When Rose realizes the egg is the key, she tells the professor they should throw it into the water. The professor refuses and snatches the egg from Rose. Cleverly, Rose steers the boat sharply, causing the egg to fall into the water. The professor becomes enraged and turns the boat back to retrieve the egg. As he leans over to grab it, Rose pushes him into the water, and then she retrieves the egg container and moves it aside. The Anaconda attacks and kills the professor in the water. Rose takes the container with the egg and goes to Jack. Together, they carry the egg to the waterfall, where the Anaconda appears. They place an explosive inside the container and throw it toward the Anaconda. The creature catches it in its mouth, and a massive explosion follows, causing the Anaconda to fall into the water. Jack and Rose then jump into the water and swim away from the scene. Both of their lives are saved, and they are relieved and happy. However, they remain unaware that the Anaconda is still alive. It wasn't killed in the explosion, it was only injured. And with that, today's story comes to an end. And so friends, how did you like the story? Do tell us in the comments box. And for such movie explanation, please subscribe to Movie Recap English. See you in the next movie. Till then, bye bye, take care.